What's up, everybody? In this evening's video, I am going to be sharing with you my one major takeaway from this past year and how I got there. Let's get to it. So I feel so incredibly grateful to say that my biggest takeaway from this past year is massive in the way of accepting and loving myself. Every single quirk or something that someone would potentially see as an issue, I love myself. And that is huge, going from someone that was filled with self-loathing and many years ago, several times attempted suicide. I am grateful to say that how I got here was through a series of steps that I now am grateful to take my clients through, but I still practice them because this healing journey that we are on is never ending. It never stops. Life always comes at us. There's always going to be challenging scenarios in life that we're going to need to heal from and to balance from again. It really is a step-by-step structure that I actually utilize in my program called the Unmasking. It's an online platform, but I still use this structure every day, sometimes just moment by moment. And that honestly it starts with awareness, just awareness of thought or of what action comes after that thought. And then analyzing what it is I could have done differently, and not ruminating on what I could have done differently, but just learning from that. And then next steps, well, hopefully before taking action, I think about how I desire to take action, whether that be when I'm interacting with somebody else or just having thoughts with myself. And step one is conscious communication with others and self. And that's really observing. Again, that's more awareness. And gaining the perspective of the other person. I am not perfect at this, but I am always doing my best to try and think, if they're not in a situation where they're responding in a necessarily in a kind way, I think, what is it that is going on in their world right now that is making them be triggered in this way? And then structuring how it is I can communicate with them so that it honors their feelings and needs as well as mine. And then if there is an emotion that I am processing and it feels like a really big buildup of energy within my body, I have a process that I go through in order to release that emotion so that it's not sitting within my cells within the body later on to be triggered by something else that has absolutely nothing to do with the situation that previously created that emotion. So that would be step two. So it's the conscious communication is step one. Step two is the releasing of emotions. And I really like to do releasing techniques to not only release acute onset emotions, but to release trapped emotions. So it's really a somatic experience sometimes where I can just feel a heaviness within my body. And then I take those moments, like 10 minutes, or sometimes I like to make it long if I have those moments to myself that I can do this. But really utilizing all of the techniques to move the feelings out of my body. And it becomes a really empowering, almost primal experience where I just feel so much more in touch with how I was actually created, as opposed to what society puts us in a box for and tells us how we should be feeling, when we should be doing things, what we should be doing, etc. So that brings you more back into your body, feeling more connected with yourself, so then you can go and connect with others. And after you've completed that step 2, you have to rebalance the body's energy. That's step 3. Because once you go through an emotional release technique, you've stirred up a lot of energy within your body. And sometimes you've exhausted yourself too. So in order to bring more balanced energy back into your body, I love using rebalancing techniques, whether that be through breath work or tapping, or a lot of the movements that I do are very cyclical, because we are cyclical beings. You know, everything in nature has a cycle. And so when I practice these movements in a circular motion, it just brings that energy back into alignment, into balance, and you feel more uplifted, more at peace. And a little while later, initially you might feel super relaxed, but a little while later you can get that burst of energy because it's felt like your body has completely rested itself. And so conscious communication, step 1, release, step 2. Step 3 is the rebalancing of the energy. And step 4 is all the restoration that I love to do with hypnotherapy and meditation. And so this whole practice that I do can take, if I take a 5-minute releasing technique, a 5-minute rebalancing technique, and then say a 10 or 15-minute meditation, 20 to 25-minute routine, 30 minutes if you really want to make it nice and thorough, and you can journal. So it's really not a terribly long practice to do, but it is so beneficial. Because when we don't give ourselves those, 20 to 30 minutes a day, which is not a lot of time, mind you, we don't have the capacity to then give to the other people that are around us. We just continue to give from an empty cup. So the one thing that I actually spoke about this earlier in my free Facebook group that I have, but thinking about that one word that we want to take into the new year, and for me that has been playing over and over and over and like popping in my brain a million times, is the word play. And I like to use that even in these quote unquote heavier sort of shadow work practices where we're releasing a lot of emotions, I like to bring that play and that curiosity into the releasing of all of that. Because we can, not only can we grieve and we can feel and cry and scream and let go of those emotions, but even in that process, we can be excited about what that release brings for us. And we can be happy even within the sadness and grateful to have all of the wisdom that we gain about ourselves when we have and gift ourselves that daily practice. So the one thing that I would encourage all of us, including myself, because I'm not perfect every day. Sometimes it's just 5 minutes of me doing a releasing technique. But every single day, giving ourselves, gifting ourselves those 25 to 30 minutes a day. And it could look in, many different orders of this structure, but this structure has worked so freaking well for me in my personal development, my spiritual enlightenment, my healing physically and emotionally. I am eager and excited to help as many people that desire to learn this structure and implement it into their lives as well. Because I can tell you 1000% it will change your life. So if you are interested in learning more of the techniques that are part of this structure, please check out the link in the description that will bring you to the Unmasking page, and it will lay out even more details for you, as well as the pricing. It is a monthly membership to hop on the most affordable level, and from there you can work with me on a deeper level, more personally. And I am so grateful for all of you and this transition to the new year. And I am sending you all of my love and all of my light. Namaste, which means the light in me sees the light in you. I love you all. Bye-bye.